Good evening. I'm Leland Vittert. President Zelensky's visit couldn't come at a more precarious time. We are 300 days into the war in Ukraine. He must say thank you, but also literally beg for more weapons and money from America. And he must talk to a Republican Congress that takes power in January that's kind of tired of President Biden's blank check mentality. For reference, U.S. aid to Ukraine is right now at $48 billion, plus whatever is approved by Congress this week. They're asking for another $45 billion. That will mean that we have given Ukraine more aid than every other country in the world combined. As it stands now, we have given more weapons to Ukraine than everybody else combined. More weapons. Today, President Biden announced weapons for Ukraine that were unthinkable just a few months ago. First, the Patriot anti-aircraft missile and precision-guided smart bombs. So far, we have given infantry, arms, and equipment 150,000, artillery systems and ammunition 240 plus, 1,000 tanks and armored personnel carrier, more than 1,500 ground support vehicles, 30 air defense systems, 20 manned helicopters, 2,500 explosive drones, 15 surveillance drones, 60 coastal defense radars, and more than 100 communication systems. And to be fair, Zelenskyy appeared genuinely grateful, but understandably, as a man fighting Russia, he wants more and is not afraid to ask for it.
What's going to happen after Patriots are installed? After that, we will send another signal to President Biden that we would like to get more Patriots.
We're working. That is our life. We are in war. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That is my appreciation.
In humor often comes the truth as we take a live look right now at the Capitol, 7 p.m. In Washington, 2 a.m. in Kyiv, where we await potential Russian airstrikes. Typically, we have seen the Russians try and respond and make a point at times just like this. It's telling that the signals from Kyiv right now are down. We don't know why, but they've certainly been experiencing power outages. 3 a.m. in Moscow, the Russians now say that there is absolutely no chance of a peace deal since Zelensky's visited America. Zelenskyy will enter the Capitol to address a joint meeting of Congress, not a joint session, at the House chamber. He faces the biggest challenge of his trip, perhaps the biggest challenge of the war, which is to convince Republicans and even some skeptical Democrats to keep the money flowing. Already, some Republicans are talking publicly and more privately about the problems of sending tens of billions to Ukraine, not a single dollar to our southern border. We will get to the domestic politics of that in just a minute, but we start with former National Security Advisor to President Trump, former Ambassador to the UN, John Bolton. Mr. Ambassador, always good to see you here. The way this speech is being presented feels a little over the top to me. Take a listen to Jake Tapper, and we'll get your thought.
I hope that the Congress will approve this financial assistance for our country. This is almost $45 billion. Thank you very much for the support. Every dollar of this investment for the United States is going to be strengthening of global security.
Today's visit is drawing comparisons among some circles to 1941. That's when UK Prime Minister Winston Churchill spoke before Congress. This was just days after the Pearl Harbor attack. That visit helped cement the alliance that would go on to win World War II against a different autocratic terrorist regime.
Zelenskyy, the next Churchill, is a bridge too far, sir, or not?
Well, I think it's unfair to Zelenskyy to compare him to Churchill, but in many respects, to be clear, the war that Ukraine is fighting is in America's national interest, and the aid that we're providing to Ukraine is in America's interest. And I do think that point is recognized by the overwhelming majority of Republicans in both the House and the Senate. There are some dissidents, there are some isolationists, just as there are some appeasers on the left wing of the Democratic Party. But this is an excellent chance for Zelenskyy to make his case directly to Congress, directly to the American people. It's very significant that this is the first time he's left the soil of Ukraine in 300 days, and the place he comes is Washington, D.C. That shows that everybody knows what this is about. The U.S. remains the leader of the free world, not as an act of charity, but because it's in our interest to do so.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.